Hi, it's pank.hno Paris friends. I hope you're well. And today I want to talk about something quite interesting because in France actually we can have a lot of people on forum and in different groups who talked about the transgenerational stuff. In fact, we can have a lot of people who explain their problem due to their family history. And for example, we can take people who have a problem like rape or perhaps disease, and they will explain, okay, my grandmother was raped by people, or my grandfather had a cancer, my father had a cancer, so me, I will have a cancer. The same for the woman. My mother was raped too, and me, I have problem with men. And a lot of people explain, okay, that's in your gene, in your DNA, and it's normal. It's like the way of the epigenetics, and we have a lot of excuse about that. We have a lot of partner who come in our office and say, okay, it's not my problem, it's not me, it's my mother, my father, my grandmother, grandfather, it's the last or the past generation, and I'm not the one who had the problem. So please put it away from me and make me good all the time. And I'm not very agree with that, because I think for real we have something who happen generation by generation. We know our DNA have some memories, that's right. However, it's very interesting to observe that people create some non-verbal suggestion all the time. Our grandfather, for example, will talk about his cancer, or perhaps his disease, his problem during some family meeting, or perhaps our father talk about his father and say, oh, my father died with bad cancer, and so on, and repeat it a lot of time during dinner or meeting with friends and family, and it become like a suggestion, like a daily suggestion, perhaps not a daily, but a very, very common suggestion. And we know, like kids, we accept that idea. Okay, my grandfather died like that. Oh, shit, my father had the same problem, so I will have that. Because in the family, it's like that. And we know in French, a lot of people say, oh, it's in our culture, our family culture. Everybody or every male has this problem, and every woman has this problem, and so on. And in fact, it's not only the genetic way. It's a lot of suggestion, repeats of this suggestion, and more of that, all the answer about what's happened. Because even if we have secret family, and we know all family have his own secrets, and people never talked about that, and perhaps 2 or 3 generations after, they will have some problem. I have a good example with people from Cambodia, and we know in Cambodia there was big genocide between the population and with Pol Pot at this moment, and people in Cambodia don't talk about that. And it's interesting because one of my friend explained, my daughter have the persecution problem all the time, and in fact, her grandmother lived during this genocide, and have 5 or 10 people from his family who died during this period. But she never talked about that. Never talked about that to her own daughter. And the mother of my friend explained to me, my grandma, my mother, no one talked about that. It's taboo. It's not okay to talk about that. However, all the time, the grandmother have some behavior about what happened during his life, and even she don't say anything. It's not the truth. In fact, all her body language, all her choice was close to this problem, this big problem, this big story. And even she never talked about that. All her life, it's an answer about what she feel, she lived, she thought, and so on. And her own daughter just don't understand why her mother are like that in the mind and in the behavior. But at this moment, she understand that something happened. And we understand with nonverbal suggestion, it's quite easy. We know that Marabian explained 7% of our communication come from our words. So we know the body language is more or 50%. So we don't need to talk to give a story to next generation. We don't need to explain facts. We create only some metaphor with our own body language. We give some explanation, some fear, some hate, anger, and so on. Every emotion can come from our own body language. So even if people say, okay, it's due to my family history and it's transgenerational way, I disagree with that. Because when people will say, okay, it's not mine, it's not my problem, that's your problem. Because even if the daughter of my friend now is in the persecution way, it's cause of all the reading of body language since she's a kid. And she observed that, okay, when my grandma talked about male, she always in anger. My mother all the time is very aggressive people, and when people come in our group, everybody close, and perhaps for sure it's an answer. Okay, perhaps people will persecute myself because all the answer of the nonverbal suggestion during years and years and repeat. And at this moment, it's the problem of our partner. It's their answer about a lot of body language, a lot of communication about the problem, even if the problem is not known, even if the problem is a secret. Because all the life of people is the result about this secret of this problem. And we know, we talked, we communicate about that in our daily life. And we adapt ourselves from our story. So we just give to generation, people around us, but generation and generation, the behavior, the communication without any word. It's like a book, but without any word. It's like an auditive books or perhaps just a kinesthetic books. And we have the feedback of the transgenerational with this nonverbal suggestion, and we are the one who can to change the perception and the pattern we create about that. So if you have a question, just let me know. I like every day. Just take what is good for you. Take care. Bye-bye.